everybody, Marissa Perez here with Grounded Real Estate, and I wanted to quickly update you on today's market and let you know what stays and what doesn't inside of a home that you recently purchased or a home that you're recently trying to sell. So this question always comes up: what stays behind inside of a home after the sale? Here's the thing: whenever you're purchasing a home, there are a few things that must stay with the property, such as anything that is attached to the home. If a patio is attached to the home, the patio must stay. If the alarm system is attached to the home, that's where we need to go ahead and confirm whether or not that the alarm system is on a lease or whether or not the alarm is staying. Technically, the alarm is attached to the home and would need to convey. So if you're a seller wanting to keep your alarm system, that's something that we need to go ahead and make sure to tell the buyer prior to getting into contract. We want to make sure those negotiations are done and handled right away. So the same goes with leases on solar panels. If you're planning on selling a home that has solar panels, we must get the payoff, or we must go ahead and find out what's left on the lease in order to go ahead and disclose your solar panels. Solar panels must convey to the home, so we must have all of that information over to the buyer. Next thing, your wall mounts for your TVs. Those are considered part of the home and usually, more often than not, must convey to the buyer. Second is going to be those drape hangings. So if you have curtains or drapes or anything like that inside of your home and they're attached to the wall, they technically need to stay. If you want to keep your drapes and your curtains, be sure to talk to your realtor and make sure that those are negotiated to stay with you. So when you leave, you get to take your drapes and your hangings with you. If not, technically in the contract, they must stay in the home. Next thing is going to be your water softener. Unless otherwise stated, we must find out whether or not the water softener has a lien on it or if it's currently leased. Those things must be discovered within 7 days of being in a contract. So if you want to keep your water softener, or if you're a buyer and you want to make sure that that water softener stays in the home, it must state so in the contract. If not, it needs to be negotiated prior to your offer being accepted, so we're not going back and forth. Next, your reverse osmosis system. That too needs to be negotiated, and we need to find out whether or not that is leased or not. And we only have 7 days to go ahead and let the buyer know whether or not it's leased or liened, or whether it's staying with the home. Next is going to be your patio. So if you have a patio that maybe you picked up along the way and it's not attached to the home, it's considered personal property. And when you sell your home, you must take it with you, unless the buyer stipulates that he would like your patio system or your pergola or your little lanai to go ahead and stay in the home. Also, your barbecue pit patio. If you're able to go ahead and lift up your barbecue pit patio and it's not attached to the home with cement footings, you technically can take that with you. If you want it to stay in the home, we must stipulate that in the contract. Next is going to be any kind of, let's say, outdoor fixture, such as a statue or a stone bench. Those things, unless they are attached to the home, that goes for pots, pottery, and all of those other things, and also even planter beds. If those are attached to the home, they must stay. If they're not attached to the home, they must go. Unless otherwise stipulated, remember, you have a contractual obligation to remove all your personal property. If you don't remove all your personal property, it's considered abandoned and it stays with the home. If you want to make sure that you keep it and it goes with you, you must stipulate that in the contract. If not, it stays with the home. Even, can't stress this enough, even if you have an alarm system that you haven't finished paying on, if you haven't finished paying on the alarm system and you failed to disclose in the contract that it's going with you, you as a seller are obligated to pay off that alarm system because you did not stipulate whether or not it was liened, you did not stipulate whether or not it was leased, and it must stay with the home, and you have to cover the bill. That's why it's very important to make sure that you speak to your realtor and let them know what stays in a home and what doesn't, because we never want to be in a position where you had a different perception of what was staying and what was going, and then you end up stuck with the bill. We want to make sure that all of those things are handled in escrow prior to any other negotiations. You want to know what you're buying and what you're sticking with. So if you go around seeing a home and it has all of these bells and whistles, make sure when you write those contracts that those bells and whistles convey in your contract and you know what you're keeping. Because sometimes a lot of these homes have beautiful shelving and they have beautiful wall fixtures, light fixtures. Not all the time do those light fixtures and wall fixtures or sconces and things of that nature, do they stay. You need to make sure whether or not that it has a beautiful chandelier. Sometimes they don't convey. We want to make sure that those are stipulated in the contract well before you make an agreement, so then you know what you're buying and the seller knows what's staying and what's going. I'm Marissa Perez with Grounded Real Estate, and if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, 760-899-9591. And if you're searching for a home or if you're thinking about selling a home, give me a call. I would love to work for you. Again, Marissa Perez with Grounded Real Estate. Hope to talk to you soon. Oh, my website's right there, you guys. Don't forget to check it out.